Violent crime is down across the country and especially here in Philadelphia. You probably saw this headline in the Inquirer saying that homicides in Philadelphia reached a 9-year low last month. The crime decline in Philadelphia is the sharpest decrease compared to other big cities across the country. So we have Philadelphia Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel here to break it down and to talk about this and the why we might be seeing this.
Good morning. Good morning. Always good to hear.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
So first, what is your reaction to that? Because I think a lot of times people talk about the violence, and we know there's a lot that needs to be done, but to hear that it's down 41%, what was your reaction when you take a look at the numbers?
Well, I've been tracking the numbers even before I came back to the department, and when I was here even in 2015, we were just really excited. It's about, I told people the mayor set a tone at the beginning of the administration that safety and being safe city was going to be important. And we take that charge very seriously, and we're working diligently as a police department. I'm so proud of the men and women that fill up the police department. They stayed resilient despite some of the issues that have happened over the years. And we're continuing to focus our work in those key areas.
And this is a trend, down 41% from last year, down 19% from the previous year. We're talking about 2023 right there, 341 homicides. And then looking back to 2022, down about 2% as well. So this is a trend that we've seen over a course of several years.
Yeah, I mean, there was a trend. I mean, clearly, having 565 homicides,
too many.
Was way, so we knew there were going to be a trend going back. But at the same time, our focus upon my arrival and even happening before I came is really focus on those core areas of the city that have the significant level of violence, be very strategic, use the data, and work in partnership with our federal partners and in the community as well to be able to address this effort effectively.
Because it seems like it would have to be a collaborative effort. I mean, you think about, too, we saw an uptick back when COVID was happening. Folks were out of school and out of work and home, and courts were closed, so I'm sure all those were factors. But when you think about, we're still dealing with a police officer shortage. So have you guys had to be targeted then when it comes to how we're handling, especially those neighborhoods that you're mentioning?
Yeah, absolutely. I come back understanding that, yes, we're down a significant number of officers this time. But at the same token, we have to be, which means we have to even be more strategic, using the data to drive where we put our men and women each and every day, but also working in collaboration with others to be able to be able to build a larger force to be able to address those issues that we see. And we believe we're in the right track. As I shared earlier, this good 1 year is not going to immediately take away some of the issues that folks still see and the perceptions that we have out there. But
it's been a couple of years, though. I mean, like Thomas was mentioning, it's been over the past 3. I mean, we're showing Kensington there. I mean, specifically, I'm assuming that Kensington, yes, is one of those areas that's been a targeted focus. And even in Kensington, if we have the numbers for that, homicides are down 45% there, and then 70% compared to 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think what often got lost in Kensington is just the sheer violence that came from the drug activity down there. And so we have looked at it as a multi-pronged approach, not just around the drugs and those who are using down there, but also looking at those who are involved in shootings. And so we have a strong workforce down there. The men and women down there are doing a highly effective job. And so we're really, really glad that they're able to do that.
Back to that point, because on paper it looks amazing, down 41%. But what do you tell the people, the residents, the citizens who just don't feel safe, despite the numbers?
I think the mayor has set the tone around hope. Right, we have to have hope. That's the fuel that gets us into this place where we feel the city is better. I understand the fact that many of our citizens says it doesn't feel that way right now. But if we can show, we're demonstrating that we can get our violence down the city, and if we keep on that track, we can change that perception. We can get people to feel great about the city. This is a phenomenal city. I love the city, born and raised in the city.
Sure.
And so those conversations and uplifting our city, uplifting the men and women of the police department.
How do you deal, Captain, with the mentality? I mean, we've seen crime is crime, but the brazenness of some of the crime, shooting on a crowded bus, shooting at a school bus, shooting at infants and toddlers.
I think we keep doing what we're doing now. Our homicide unit has a 71% clearance rate. Our non-fatal shooting team is at over 30% clearance rate. You see just this week the individuals who shot on the bus, we've already identified that person, and we're going to be moving.
The mayhem in the streets that we see there, the meetups.
Yes, the car meetups, which we have seen some arrests recently. But I think some folks are saying, how does this happen? How do we allow where people are able to pull something like this off?
Listen, I mean, we have the challenges, obviously, but we have done an effective job since then. We've identified almost 50, 60, 75 cars out there. We wrote over 2,000 tickets for that. We've arrested. I made 5 felony arrests, and we're continuing to do that. This is not acceptable. But I also caution that the conversation is, but we're also not going to get into pursuing of these vehicles. As you saw the accident you covered earlier today, and some of the deaths in the region most recently as a result of stops initiated by police. I remember a college student just recently in Delaware getting killed walking into a college because of a pursuit that it was involving a motorcycle. And so we're very also conscious that, yes, this behavior, I see it, but at the same token, we have to be conscious that we're not going to start pursuing cars that go 500 miles an hour and unfortunately lose someone's life as a result of it. And so we're being very measured in that approach, using our data to be able to do that. During the follow-up, we are going after everyone you saw out there. We have many of the tags. They know that. Yeah. And we're also going to be introducing some other devices, like the deflation devices, that we can use them in a proper and effective way to be able to address these issues.
And then real quick in our final moments here, building the relationship with the community is vital. You often hear the reporters and us say, if you know something, come forward. How critical is rebuilding that relationship within the community? And
I said that in my remarks. The community has been very valuable. They have been calling us about a lot of the activity you're seeing, which is an indication that we're in the right track. Yeah. And we're building bridges inside our department. We're great victim advocates in our homicide unit to work with families that have lost loved ones so that we have that bridge and build those relationships. But we're in a good place. People are really starting to understand what policing does and the role it does. But all of the things that you described, Alex, it's not just us. Schools are now back, the system's back up and running. So it's a lot of collective effort that getting us into this space.
And lastly, I mean, there's still the factor, too, of you need officers, right? We're still short about 1,300. Are the efforts still continuing to try and get more officers to be a part? And what is that? What needs to happen? Because hopefully when you build those bridges with community, it might inspire others to join. But how do we get that to full capacity?
Listen, first, we here, encouraging individuals to join phillypd.com. We're in our open period now. We tell people you come into this department, 61,000, 65,000. By the time you graduate, 90,000. By the time you're out in 5 years. Yeah. It's a great look, mate. I'm a police commissioner. I was born and raised in West Philadelphia. I was a cop in 1986, and look where I sit today. And so I say anyone out there listening to in the audience, look at what you can be. And it has helped me raise my family and also serve this city for almost 38 years. It is a blessing to be in this position, and I hope those who are listening see it as a blessing and an opportunity to serve. We're looking for people who want to serve this city, serve our community in an effective way, and if we do that, we can have success.
And it's making such a difference. It's so important to highlight the work that's been done here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to come and talk about the work we're doing.
Because it does need to be talked about, and hopefully it'll inspire the numbers to continue to go down since we're seeing this 41% decrease. So thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you both. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, 7:39.